The Code of Conduct and what it means for you. Hi, I'm Laura Vetter, and welcome to this segment of Brookdale Newsmakers, your source for what's happening in and around our campus. Today I'm joined by Jeune, Administrator for Judicial Affairs and Student Information, to discuss the Code of Conduct and rights and responsibilities. Thank you so much for joining me, Chris.
Thanks for having me. It's my pleasure to be here.
So now, what exactly is the Code of Conduct?
Well, the Code of Conduct is a set of rules and regulations that Brookdale has to kind of govern our student body. And every college and university throughout the country has something similar. And it's important to know that it's different from federal, state, and local laws that might apply to our students while they're here as well. It's specifically designed to make sure we have as safe and effective a learning environment as possible for our students. So it runs parallel to legal things, but it's really a college policy kind of document.
Okay, so it's like the Constitution essentially for Brookdale.
Essentially.
Awesome. What sort of things does the Code of Conduct entail?
Well, it explains the process that we follow whenever a student's accused of violating the Code of Conduct. It includes the different violations that a student might face if there's some sort of negative behavior on campus, anything from fights to drugs or alcohol, to vandalism or theft. It really covers the whole gamut of any kind of behavior that would be unacceptable here at Brookdale.
Okay, so where can students find this Code of Conduct?
Well, there's a bunch of different ways to find it because, like you said, it's essentially the contract between the school and the student with the behavior that we expect. So you can find it in print in my office, which is in the Office of Student Life and Activities in the Student Life Center, room 101. It's also online in the handbook and the college catalog. So you can find it in print, online, anywhere that you want to get it.
Awesome. So who exactly governs this Code of Conduct at school? And can students get involved in works with Code of Conduct?
Absolutely. The Code of Conduct is governed, like I said, by the Office of Student Life and Activities. And part of the process within the Student Code of Conduct is that if a student is facing suspension or expulsion from the college, in other words, they're not going to be able to attend here for a specific period of time or for the indefinite future, those kinds of cases are heard by what's known as the Student Conduct Board. And that's a group of 3 students and 2 faculty and staff members who essentially hear the case and make a decision on moving forward in terms of that student's future here at Brookdale. Students need to be specifically trained for that process, so there's a training process that students can go through in order to become a member. But once you're trained, you're able to sit on the board and hear those cases. So it's great real-life experience, especially for students that might be pursuing a career in criminal justice or law, or really anybody looking for great questioning skills, listening skills. It's a really dynamic exchange for people to be a part of.
Yeah, well, that's a fantastic opportunity for people who are definitely interested in those fields to certainly broaden their skills.
Great.
Now, is there anything besides Judiciary Matters, because you've gone into that in depth, that the Code of Conduct covers?
It doesn't really. It's really a specific kind of document that talks about the behavior at the college.
Okay.
So when students are on campus, it applies to them. And it's also important to note that if they're off campus representing Brookdale, whether it's through a club or organization or through an athletic team or something like that, it applies to them off campus in those situations as well.
Okay, so now you mentioned a couple different ways before where students can access the Code of Conduct. If anybody has a question or issue that they'd like to bring up, what's the best way to get a hold of the governing board regarding this Code of Conduct?
The best thing to do is reach out to me or somebody within the Office of Student Life and Activities. An email to contact me is the best way, my phone number, or if you just want to stop by the office, we're always happy to answer any questions you might have, because we never want students to be confused by the code, because it's really the rules that they need to know to follow while they're here at Brookdale.
Absolutely. Was there anything else that you'd like to add?
No, I think it's just great that students are aware of this and they can really find the information, and if they have any questions, let us know.
Okay, great, excellent. Well, thank you so much for that information and joining us today on Newsmakers, Chris. It was a pleasure having you. For more information on how to access the Code of Conduct and to learn your rights as a member of the Brookdale community, you can log on to brookdalecc.edu. I'm Laura Vetter, and thanks for watching.